here's Biden yesterday saying, hey, I've got a new 461-page guide to show you all of the new government programs that are coming out with Build Back Better. And I just need your support on Build Back Better. And, of course, half of the governors are like, yeah, Build Back Better. The other half is like, are you crazy? You can't put another $1.5 trillion or $2 trillion into the economy. It'll make things much, much worse. How do we talk to each other when we can't even agree on that? How about this? This is something really obvious. Here's Jen Psaki yesterday. She's sitting in her office and she's talking to a reporter, and she looks up at her television and she sees the 4 networks. And listen to what she says.
If you look at Fox on a daily basis, I mean, do you remember the 4 boxes that we had on all the TVs, right? Which is on my TV right now. So right now, just to give you a sense, so CNN, Pentagon, as many as 8,500 U.S. troops on heightened alert. Okay, true. Same on MSNBC. CNBC is doing their own thing about the market. And then on Fox is Jeanine Pirro talking about soft on crime consequences. I mean, what does that even mean? Right. So there's an alternate universe on some coverage. What's scary about it is a lot of people watch that.
Yeah, it is a parallel universe. It seems like our universe, but she's right. It's an alternate universe. What does that even mean? Soft on crime consequences? Have you seen what's happening in our cities? The Democrat George Soros has dumped money into DA races, and he has DAs all over the country. And all of the Soros DAs are enacting reforms. And these reforms eliminate mandatory minimum prison time, eliminate fines imposed on criminal defendants, jailing juvenile delinquents, no small-time drug offenders. Okay, so what's happened? Well, let's look at U.S. News and World Report. Apparently, New Orleans had a homicide rate of 19.9 per 100,000 people in 2020. That was the second highest in the country. New Orleans was the highest in the state of 21.7. So the 19.9 is in Louisiana, New Orleans 21.7. So really bad, right? So they get a new district attorney. Now less than 1 out of every 5 felony cases have ended with a felony conviction. That's a conviction rate of 17%. Approximately 67% result in dismissal without any legal consequences. About 20% of the felony cases dismissed were crimes of violence. That's murder, rape, kidnapping, carjacking, robbery. And this is happening all over the country. We're seeing it in New York. We're seeing it in Seattle. We're seeing it in San Francisco, Los Angeles. What do all of those cities have in common? They're all in states that are run by Democrats. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I did leave out another crime-ridden city now, Minneapolis. Do you know in Portland, they're now saying 90% in the latest poll say our life here in Portland is worse now that we're soft on crime. But she has no idea what anybody is talking about. Soft on crime, it's like they're living in another, what does that even mean? Well, here's what it means. Here's the latest montage of all of the Democrats talking about soft on crime. Let's get rid of the police department.
Suck it up. Defunding the police has to happen.
Corey Bush.
We need to defund the police.
Mayor Eric Garcetti saying, take some of the money from policing, about $150 million.
Vice President.
I applaud Eric Garcetti for doing what he's done.
Not only do we need to invest in police, but we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
So yes, defund your butt.
Corey Bush.
Defund you.
Yes, I support
Jamal
the
Bowman.
reallocation of resources from NYPD.
We will be moving funding
Bill
from the
Blasio.
NYPD to youth initiatives and social services.
They are talking about reducing
Urban
the allocation
Development
of
Secretary
resources to that department. And I think
Marcia
every
Fudge.
single city in this country ought to be thinking about the same thing.
Yes, I support the defund movement. I'm for
Susan
responsible
reallocation of resources.
And defund the police.
I think you do all those other things.
Gretchen
you don't need all
Whitmire.
the money that's going to the police department. So yeah, I mean, the spirit of it, I do support that.
Yeah, and a lot of us were asked if we could imagine
Minneapolis
a future
City
without
Council
police
president.
back in 2017 when we were running for office. And I answered yes to that question.
We are going to reduce funding in
Mayor
the
of
police
San Francisco.
department and redirect that money.
There's no reason the police budget should just keep
Obama
growing.
Biden HUD secretary.
They can make sensible cuts to policing.
We propose to redirect
Mayor of
over
Portland.
$7 million from the police bureau.
That our city, through our city administrative officer,
Eric
identified
Garcetti, mayor of Los Angeles. Stop. It goes on and on and on. And it's all of the people that are in the cities with the highest crime. And it's all the members of Congress that are Democrat crazy. That's what they're talking about. Maybe we should help Jen out. That's what they're talking about. We live in a time where people believe that we should destroy the free market system so we can free the planet. That if it means we don't have electricity, that we live through brownouts and blackouts, that we destroy businesses, it's okay to do because of global warming. Now, even their most draconian ideas don't stop global warming. They don't stop it. The other half of the country either doesn't believe in global warming because it's been so politicized and crazy, or you believe, okay, maybe the globe is warming. I'm not sure humans have that much to do with it, but I mean, we can be a lot cleaner. We can be better to the earth. We should be better to the earth. But all of your crazy ideas aren't going to do anything but make us bankrupt. So that's a normal political debate. But now you have to be silenced if you disagree because it's a moral imperative. If you disagree with COVID and the vaccine mandates, then you have to be silenced because it's a moral imperative. What we have come up against now is a religion. The left has joined a religion, and God is the government and the elites. If science says it's so, it's so. Even though every step of the way, science has gotten some pretty big things wrong. They got some really big things just on COVID. You can't go out without a mask. I remember saying on the air, masks, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. These little fabric masks that you're buying, they don't work. If you want to wear an N95 mask, that works. Well, you could be banned for saying that. We had several episodes dropped and demonetized because we said that. Well, now the CDC the science is saying it. So where do I get my apology? Saying a year ago that if you're vaccinated, you're going to still get COVID and you'll still probably be able to pass it on, you would have been banned. You're a heretic. But we now know that's true. So at what point do you apologize? At what point do you realize, oh, you know what? We really don't know what we're doing. So we should just share the information that we have and let people work it out. That's not possible. Why? Because there are two Americas, and I want to outline what they are and ask you to ask your friends, which America are you living in? Because it's very clear and it's really easy to show your friends, okay, you've moved. You've moved. Not me. I'm not the radical. You are. I want to explain the two categories. There are the people that believe in the Bill of Rights and the people that believe in people. Do you believe people are all really, truly created equal and they have the rights to do what they think is right, even if you think it's wrong? Or do you believe in the experts? Do you believe in the elites? That they're smarter, really, than everybody else, and maybe including you. If you believe that, you most likely are in agreement with the elites. But what happens when the elites say something you don't agree with? If the situation was reversed and the elites then said, you know what? It's mandatory that you don't get the vaccine, or whatever it is, would you agree with that? Do you take everything that anyone says that is in a position of authority and apply it to your life because it's the right thing to do? You have blind faith in the government and authority. If you do, let me ask you, how do you argue against the police? Oh, they're just corrupt. Okay. And so the experts want to defund that, yet that has led to all this crime. What is the answer? Why, if the elites are so smart, why didn't they see this one coming? Do you believe in giant corporations and tech and big pharma, that they know better than you on speech, on health, on what you should buy? Or do you believe you should have that choice? Do you believe tech should be able to move people into voting for the people they think are right? Or do you think they should leave people alone and let people decide? Do you believe your children are yours and you decide how they're going to be raised, what they're taught? Or do you believe the elites should not even be asked questions and they should teach whatever it is they want to teach because you don't know how to educate a child? In all of those, if the situation were reversed, if Donald Trump were doing these things, in all cases, the people on the left would be against them. The question is, if the roles were reversed and it was Donald Trump that had been doing these, would you be for them? That's the most frustrating part of this game, and I'm hoping that most people would be against these things. But we are in two camps. You believe in people and the Bill of Rights, or you believe in a new God, and that God is science and government and experts that tell you you can print as much money as you want and you don't have to worry about paying it back. Sure, it causes inflation, but we can get that under control as soon as we can control what people buy and spend and save and do with their time out of work.